There is something being shaped in the unseen right now, and if your spirit feels drawn to these words, it is not coincidence. Something is moving toward you, and once it reaches you, nothing returns to how it was. My beloved soul, stay with me. Do not scroll. Do not look away. This message has crossed every barrier it needed to reach your ears, and if you feel a pull inside your chest, that is confirmation. Something, or someone, has reached the point where silence can no longer protect them. They are preparing to speak in a way they never have before, not because they suddenly found courage, but because holding back has finally become more painful than the truth. There is a confession forming. A realization taking shape. Words they never allowed themselves to speak are rising, unfiltered, unpolished, and impossible for them to swallow again. Even now, there is a tremble in their spirit. Not from fear of you, but fear of what honesty will change. They have always believed that staying silent kept them safe. They lived entire chapters of their life behind emotional walls, building distance like armor and pretending that detachment was strength. But then, you appeared. And without demanding a thing, you disrupted the architecture of their self-protection. Stay. Don't leave this moment. You need to hear this. They have rehearsed this conversation in their mind. Not just once, but again and again, in quiet moments before sleep, in the spaces where memories echo louder than thoughts, in the seconds where their heart speaks faster than logic. You became a thought that refused to fade. A feeling that refused to shrink. A presence that refused to return to silence. They are not used to this. They are not used to someone who lingers in their emotional memory instead of dissolving like everyone else. And that is why they are shaking at the edge of what they are about to say. My beloved soul, this has never happened for them before. Not because they never cared about anyone. Not because no one else tried to love them. But because they never trusted anyone enough to be seen without armor. You did not break their walls. You made them unnecessary. And that is a power few people ever hold in someone's life. You didn't ask for that power. You didn't chase it. You simply existed in a way that made emotional hiding impossible. That is why their silence has felt heavy lately, like a door creaking open. That is why their distance didn't feel like rejection, but restraint. They have been negotiating with their own heart, trying to decide if truth is worth the risk. Don't scroll. Breathe. Let the moment settle. Something is shifting. They can feel it. You can feel it. And Archangel Michael wants you to understand this. The timing is not an accident. Their inner world has reached capacity. The walls are cracking. The defenses are failing. The mask is slipping. And vulnerability, the one thing they swore they would never show, is rising like a tide they cannot stop. They are preparing to tell you that you changed them. Not through pressure, but through presence. Not through persuasion, but through safety. Not through demands, but through truth. They will not come to you with perfect sentences. They will not arrive with poetic precision. Their voice may shake. Their words may break. Their breath may falter. But authenticity is messy. And what they are about to reveal is something they have never shared with another living soul. My beloved soul, listen closely. When this confession arrives, through a message, a call, a quiet moment, or a sentence they didn't mean to let slip, it will carry weight. Weight from years of swallowed emotions. Weight from fear they finally outgrew. Weight from a truth that chose you as its destination. And when the moment finds you, don't question whether it's real. You will feel it in the spine of your intuition. In the base of your chest. In the place where energy speaks before language does. Pause. Let that sink in. Because what is approaching is not ordinary. It is not casual. It is not coincidence. It is a turning point. And turning points never arrive quietly. If your heart feels like it's listening harder than your ears, good. That means the message has reached the place it was meant for. If you feel guided to stay connected to this energy, to remain open, to step toward clarity instead of away from it, then hear this without resistance. More clarity is coming. More truth is coming. More honesty is coming. And when it arrives, you will no longer carry the weight of wondering. My beloved soul, before we continue deeper, breathe. And if you feel aligned with this message, if your spirit feels seen, if your heart feels spoken for, gently touch the like button as a silent affirmation to the universe that you are ready to receive the clarity meant for you. Not pressured, just aligned. They have reached the point where their mind can no longer outrun what their heart already knows. They tried to rationalize the pull toward you. They tried to reduce it to coincidence, to timing, to imagination. They tried to convince themselves that it wasn't different, that it wasn't personal, that it wasn't real. But the truth kept returning in quiet waves, whispering the one thing they never wanted to admit: their feelings didn't leave. Even after distance. Even after silence. Even after they tried to distract themselves with routine, with logic, with other options that felt easier. Nothing erased you. Nothing diluted you. Nothing replaced you. This realization scares them more than anything else because it means the connection is not a phase, it is a shift. And people who survived most of their life by minimizing emotional attachments are terrified when something refuses to shrink. Right now, they are learning a new kind of fear. Not fear of you. Not fear of love. But fear of losing something real without ever giving it a chance to grow. They would rather risk the discomfort of honesty than carry the regret of silence. And that decision is changing the internal landscape of their entire world. My beloved soul, there is something else you need to know. They are not only preparing to tell you what they feel, they are preparing to expose the part of themselves they kept hidden from everyone. The part they never let anyone touch. The part built from old wounds, old disappointments, old betrayals, old promises that fell apart before they could become real. You are stepping into territory that was locked away, not because it was empty, but because it was full. Full of things they believed no one would ever understand. But you understood anyway. Without explanation. Without instructions. Without being asked to. Stay here with me. Let the energy of these words settle into your nervous system. Because this moment is not about prediction, it is about preparation. You are being aligned with clarity so that when it arrives, you will not sabotage it with doubt. When they speak, do not rush to fill the silence. Let the truth breathe. Let them tremble if they need to. Let them take their time. What matters is not the perfection of the moment, it is the courage of it. There is a phrase forming inside them. A confession threading itself through their chest. It might not sound poetic. It might not sound cinematic. But it will sound like relief. It will sound like exhaling. It will sound like truth that finally stopped running. It may come out as, "I didn't expect to feel this way." Or, "I tried to let you go but I couldn't." Or, "Being myself with you feels easier than it should." Or even something as simple as, "I don't want to lose this." Whatever the words are, you will feel the weight behind them. The weight of someone choosing to open a door they once believed would always stay closed. And if your heart feels a quiet recognition, a sense of home, a sense of alignment, a sense that the universe is exhaling with you, it is because Archangel Michael has been guiding this moment from the beginning. Not to force a future, but to reveal a truth. My beloved soul, the energy right now is delicate. If you push, it may retreat. If you demand, it may shut down. But if you remain present, steady, open, grounded, then the connection will unfold like a door opening 1 inch at a time. This is not about instant intensity. This is about intentional presence. The kind that sustains something real instead of burning it too fast to survive. There is a reason your intuition keeps waking you up at night. There is a reason you keep feeling their energy even without contact. There is a reason your mind wanders toward them when nothing triggers the thought. That is not coincidence, that is resonance. When two energies recognize each other, logic becomes secondary. You are not imagining the pull. You are not inventing the signs. You are not dreaming this connection from nothing. Something real has been acknowledged on a level that language struggles to describe. Take another breath with me. Slow, intentional. Feel your chest soften. Feel your shoulders loosen. Feel the knowing in your body sharpen. Something is approaching. And when it reaches you, it will not feel like guessing, it will feel like confirmation. If this message is resonating, if your intuition feels like it's leaning closer, if your heart feels like it's listening in a way your ears can't, gently save or share this as a signal to the universe. I am ready for clarity. Not forced, not chased, simply ready. They are beginning to understand something they never realized before. Silence is not strength when it costs them what matters. For so long, they believed distance made them safe. They believed not needing anyone made them powerful. They believed detachment was protection. But now, their own heart has turned against that belief. Their emotions are pushing forward like truth demanding to be seen, and every time they try to suppress it, it rises stronger. Something inside them is whispering, if you don't speak now, you'll lose what you're afraid to admit you want. That whisper is becoming louder. It is becoming impossible to ignore. My beloved soul, this is not just emotional conflict, this is internal transformation. They are shedding an identity they built from survival. They are losing interest in the version of themselves that felt safer not feeling anything. They are outgrowing their old self, the one who hid behind logic, the one who stayed silent when their heart wanted to breathe. That identity is cracking. Not breaking from damage, breaking from evolution. And you were the catalyst. Not by force. Not by pressure. But simply by being someone they can't numb themselves around. Stay with this moment. Don't let your mind rush ahead. Do not search for the ending before you allow the truth to unfold. The universe is writing in real time. The story is not finished. They are still choosing. They are still forming the words. They are still learning how to stand in honesty without collapsing back into fear. And Archangel Michael is standing behind them, guiding them, nudging them, holding their spine steady as they inch closer to vulnerability. They are being protected while they prepare to speak. And yes, they are afraid. They are afraid of being too late. They are afraid of saying the wrong thing. They are afraid that once the words leave their mouth, they will not be able to take them back. But there is something stronger than their fear now, the possibility of losing you before ever giving the connection a chance. Loss is heavier than vulnerability. Regret is heavier than truth. They are beginning to understand that silence is not neutral. It is a choice. And choices create outcomes, even when no words are spoken. Listen closely. There will come a moment, soon, when their voice softens. When their guard lowers. When the air around you feels different. When the energy shifts like the room exhaled. That is the moment. The moment their heart steps forward before their mind can drag it backward again. It won't feel like a decision. It will feel like surrender. It will feel like an emotional truth stepping into the light after years of living in the shadow. And it will sound like honesty, even if the words come out imperfect. Prepare for sentences like, "I didn't know how to say this. I thought distance would make it fade, but it didn't. I feel safer with you than I expected to. I don't want to lose what this is, even if I'm scared. I need you to know I care." These are not small admissions for them. They are seismic shifts. They are emotional earthquakes. They are evidence that someone who once valued control more than connection is now choosing connection anyway. And that is not weakness, that is evolution. My beloved soul, when this moment happens, do not try to manage their emotions for them. You do not need to fix their fear. You do not need to sanitize their vulnerability. You do not need to reply with a script that sounds perfect. What matters most is presence. Presence is what calms the nervous system. Presence is what opens the door wider. Presence is what tells their heart, it was safe to speak here. And if you respond with grounded truth, not performance, not panic, not pressure, the connection will deepen in ways neither of you fully understand yet. There is something else, your energy has been preparing for this moment too. You have been growing quieter inside. You have been feeling more clarity than chaos. You have been letting go of assumptions and tuning into intuition instead. That is alignment. That is readiness. That is the energetic signal that tells the universe, I will not sabotage what is meant for me. You are not the same person you were when this connection first appeared. You have done your own inner work. You have learned patience. You have learned self-respect. You have learned that love is not proven through chasing, it is proven through choosing. And now, the choosing begins. If your body feels a strange calm reading this, if you feel like something is preparing itself inside you, like your heart is bracing for impact in a good way, that is because you are aligning with the moment before it arrives. That is foresight. That is spiritual positioning. That is energetic confirmation. Take a breath. In through the nose, slow. Hold. Exhale gently. Feel the weight release. And if this message feels like it is speaking for you, not just to you, if your spirit feels seen, if your intuition feels loud, then whisper internally, without fear. Let the truth come. They are entering a stage where honesty is no longer a risk, it is the only path forward. Their soul is tired of pretending indifference. Their mind is exhausted from trying to control what the heart already claimed. They are noticing how their body reacts when they imagine losing you. The sudden tightness in their chest. The heaviness behind their breath. The aching awareness that silence is no longer a shield, but a barrier. That emotional distance is no longer protection, but punishment. They are realizing that not speaking is not the safer choice, it is the most dangerous one. This realization is not gentle. It is not graceful. It is not comfortable. It is confrontation with themselves. And every step toward truth feels like stepping into unfamiliar air. They are not used to feeling this much. They are not used to wanting something without running from it. They are not used to caring this deeply without shutting down. And yet, here they are, choosing to move closer. Their soul is choosing you even when their fear tries to choose the exit. Stay with this. Don't disconnect. Your presence right now matters. For the first time in their life, they are questioning the story they always believed about themselves, the story that said they were safer alone. They wore self-reliance like armor. They convinced themselves they didn't need closeness. They treated emotional solitude like a home. But now that they have tasted connection that feels aligned instead of draining, safe instead of suffocating, intentional instead of impulsive, solitude doesn't feel like home anymore. It feels like exile. And that is why they are coming forward. When they speak, it won't sound like someone confessing a crush. It won't sound like someone seeking validation. It will sound like someone admitting, finally, that they cannot ignore what this connection is doing to them. They don't want to run. They don't want to pretend. They don't want to keep you at arm's length to feel safe. They want to let themselves be seen, and that realization scares them because vulnerability has always been a language they never learned. but they are willing to learn it with you. My beloved soul, Archangel Michael asks you to remember something. Clarity does not always arrive with confidence. Sometimes clarity arrives with shaking hands. Sometimes truth sits in the throat before it finds the voice. Sometimes honesty sounds like hesitation, like pauses, like soft sentences that carry the weight of everything they never said. Do not confuse shaky delivery with uncertain feelings. Some of the truest words tremble when they are spoken. If you notice their voice catching, if you see them look away, if you feel them fighting for the courage to speak, understand that this moment is sacred. Not dramatic. Sacred. Because someone who once believed vulnerability was a threat is now choosing it as a doorway. And they are choosing to walk through that doorway toward you. Your role is not to pull them. Not to drag them. Not to fix their fear. Your role is to stay rooted in yourself. Truth meets truth when both people are grounded. You are not being asked to rescue them. You are being asked to receive them. That is the difference between codependency and connection. You don't need to carry their emotions. You don't need to speak for them. You just need to hold space for what is real. And what is real is coming. They are stepping into the moment where their emotional body takes authority over their protective patterns. Where the heart leads and the mind follows instead of interfering. Where the truth that has been pacing behind their ribs finally reaches the door. And when it does, it will knock. Softly. But intentionally. Pay attention to your intuition in the days ahead. You may feel a shift before it happens. You may sense them thinking about you. You may feel an energetic pull without contact, a quiet awareness without communication, a signal without language. This is not imagination. This is resonance. When two souls reach the same emotional threshold, the energy begins to change before the words do. My beloved soul, I need you to hear this clearly. You are not waiting. You are preparing. Waiting implies passivity. Preparing implies alignment. You are not sitting on the sidelines of your own story. You are meeting the moment halfway. And the universe responds to readiness. The universe responds to grounded expectation. The universe responds to clarity. If you feel guided to, take a moment right now and whisper in your mind. I am ready for truth that aligns with my peace. Not truth that overwhelms. Not truth that demands. Truth that aligns with peace. And if your spirit feels seen, you can softly tap the like button as a signal, not to me, not to them, but to the universe. I am not afraid of clarity anymore. What happens next is not an accident. It is not coincidence. It is not luck. It is alignment. A moment where your timelines, your inner work, your patience, your intuition, and their awakening finally meet at the same door. You have felt this coming. They have felt this coming. The universe has been rearranging pieces behind the scenes, placing conversations in their path, placing memories in their mind, placing realizations in their heart. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was pointless. Every delay had a purpose. Every silence built pressure. Every unanswered question softened the ego. This moment was not late, it is arriving exactly when both of you can hold it. And now, they are preparing to say something that will shift the atmosphere between you. Not to claim ownership over you. Not to trap you. Not to push you faster than you're ready to move. But to acknowledge what has been real this entire time. They are not coming with fantasy. They are not coming to perform romance. They are coming with recognition. That is what makes this different. That is what gives this weight. They are not just telling you what they feel. They are admitting what they can no longer deny. My beloved soul, the truth is this, the connection was never in your head. It was in the energy. It was in the way they breathed differently around you. It was in the way their voice shifted when they spoke to you. It was in the way they watched you, not always with their eyes, but with their awareness. It was in the way they remembered things you forgot you said. It was in the way they carried you in their thoughts even when they were trying not to. That was not imagination. That was resonance. Their soul recognized you before their mind could understand why. And now the mind is catching up. When they speak, the moment may not look dramatic, but it will feel cinematic. The world around you may stay still, but something inside you will turn like a key in a lock. The connection will stop living in assumption and start living in acknowledgement. That shift is everything. That shift is the difference between confusion and clarity. Between waiting and building. Between living in the story and stepping into it. Archangel Michael stands over this moment like a guardian. Not to force an outcome, but to protect the truth as it arrives. You are not meant to enter this moment with fear. You are meant to enter with awareness. You are not meant to grip tightly. You are meant to hold gently. Clarity does not demand force. It invites choice. And that is what you are stepping into now, choice. Do you step forward? Do you stay still? Do you create space? Do you open the door? None of these answers make you wrong. None of these answers make you weak. None of these answers make you difficult. They make you sovereign. You are not being chosen as an option. You are being approached as a presence. The question is not, will you be what they want? The question is, can you remain who you are while receiving what is being offered? The universe is not asking you to sacrifice yourself to keep the connection. It is asking you to stay rooted in the version of you that attracted authenticity in the first place. That is where the next chapter begins. With you, as you are, not smaller, not edited, not performing emotional perfection to earn someone's effort. You are not here to audition. You are here to participate. My beloved soul, something inside them is beginning to rise, and something inside you is beginning to respond. Not with fantasy, but with recognition. With steady breath. With a quiet yes. Not a yes to a relationship. Not a yes to a future. A yes to truth. A yes to clarity. A yes to receiving instead of guessing. If you feel it, even subtly, even quietly, even in only one corner of your spirit, then trust it. Not blindly. Not recklessly. Trust it the way trees trust sunlight, not as a promise, but as a direction. Before this message closes, take a slow breath and allow these words to settle in your body. I am ready for clarity that honors me. Not clarity that demands. Not clarity that pressures. Clarity that honors. And if your intuition feels aligned, if this message feels like it found you, not randomly but intentionally, you may gently subscribe or follow as a signal to the universe that you are choosing alignment over accident, readiness over fear, truth over silence. Not for validation. For resonance. Because something is coming. Something is forming. Something is preparing to be spoken. And when the words arrive, when their voice finally cracks open the door between what they felt and what they admit, everything that was confusing will begin to make sense. Not because the story is over, but because it is finally beginning.